G'day, I'm Warwick Schiller, and you know, if you've watched any of my videos, there's a couple of principles that I'm really big on, and that is, one is having that horse control themselves. One of them's making the wrong thing hard and the right thing easy, and doing that you have to let those horses make a mistake. And another one is having those horses control themselves. Okay, if you think about the interaction between these two horses here, there's no one riding this horse or this horse, that they manage to sort stuff out for themselves. And a lot of the training we do is based on how horses would handle things. And you know, a really good, I had a really good thing happen recently at a clinic in Australia, and it was a lady was riding a stallion, and I had, so my clinics have, you know, half the people in the morning, half in the afternoon, so there's 6 in each group. And I think it was the second day, and 5 of the people were still doing groundwork, but there was one lady, she was going to ride. And she's riding a stallion, and when she first got on, he was getting quite studdy, you know, and wanting to go over and do rude things to all the other horses that were doing the groundwork, you know. And the lady kind of kept hanging on to him, and I said, no, that's, you know, he will do that forever if you keep trying to control him like that. I said, think about if you've ever had a stallion in a group of mares, okay? Had a stallion in a group of mares that are, like they're already in foal, well, they're barren, but let's say they're in foal. So you've got a stallion with a group of mares and they're in foal, and when that stallion goes over to those mares and goes, I want to have a piece of you, and they go, no, you're not, this mare will drive him off, you know, and then he'll go over this one and she'll drive him off, and then he'll go to this one and she'll drive him off, and after a while he doesn't bother any of them. And so at this clinic there was this lady on this stallion, and I had said to her, you know, well, I said to her in the clinic, I said, just go ahead and turn loose and see what he does. Now, I said to everybody there, if this stallion comes anywhere near you, because they all were using a flag with their groundwork, if this stallion comes anywhere near you, go ahead and drive him away. You can see in this first photo, he's heading toward this other horse, and at the time he was kind of dropped down a little bit, and he was, and so, you know, you can see here in this second photo, I've come in and I've took the flag off the girl and grabbed her horse, and I started to wave the flag at that stud to get him away. And you see right here's the start of, you see where his head and neck is, right here's the start of, I'll move my head and neck but I won't move my feet. And if you look in the next picture, it's kind of the same. His head's turned but his feet, see his feet are kind of braced. Look at his hind feet stuck out behind him and his front feet kind of spread apart. He's like, no, I'm not moving from here. In the next picture, you see I had to get, you know, a bit firmer, and his head's moved a little bit, but once again his feet haven't moved. And then in the next picture, he's really moved his head and said, no, I'm not moving from here. You know, and then if you have a look at this next one, he's still, you know, he's still not deciding to leave. He's still kind of braced up like, no, I'm not changing my mind. I don't want to leave this spot. And then finally in this next picture you see, whoa, he's changed his mind and he's starting to leave somewhere. But you'll notice right here when we go to this next picture now, he's not really leaving. You see the direction he's heading into compared to the last picture. The last picture he'd kind of started to turn away from that horse. In this one, he's still kind of heading back around towards that horse on his left. See right here, his nose is tipped towards that horse. He's still like, well, if I can't get to you from the front, I'll go around behind you. And you would have seen a stallion and a mare, you know, the mare's not receptive, and he comes up to her and she kind of goes, get away. He'll kind of come around the back and say, well, can I come from here? And then usually after that, it'll get a little bit serious. Anyway, so I have to continue with the flag right here because I haven't really changed his mind. And that's what this whole thing is about, is allowing you to make a mistake and correcting it so that they actually change their mind. So in this next picture, you see he's still going around. He's thinking, well, I'll just circle around and come in from the back end. And finally, I put enough pressure on him that he actually left. And if you look in this next picture, he went away and he turned around and he stopped and looked at me like, holy cow, what happened right then? You know, he didn't stay away very long. He got away, but that's the thing. In this picture right here, you might notice I'm not threatening him right now. He's found that little place of peace. You know, he's not doing anything wrong right there. So I've got to allow, the rider has to allow him, and I have to allow him to come back again. And as you see in the next picture, when he came back again, we had to start all over again. And you see, in this next picture right here, see once again his head's kind of turned off to the side, like I'll move my head but not my feet. And then right about here he decided to kind of, oh, I better get out of here. And then he went away and stood over there for quite a bit longer than the first time he left. Okay, and usually they'll leave and stay away not very long, and it's just like teaching them anything. They figure out that spot, that happy place. They'll stay there for a bit, and then they'll, you know, and he stood there for a bit like you can see in this photo. But in the next photo he's like, oh no, I want to come back. I think I'll come back and have another crack at it. So I had to drive him off again. You can see by this next picture he's still not committed to leaving. I'm trying to, if you look at where I'm driving this pressure from, he is not going directly away from it. He's still kind of circling around. And if you look in this next photo here, see his head's kind of tipped towards my horse. And once again, he's going to go, well, I'll go around the back. See right in this next picture, he's still circling around, was going to go around to the back. In this next picture, you see he's still doing it. And then I believe he actually turned towards me. And as he turned towards me, then he was front onto me. Then I was driving his head again. You see here in this next picture, he's, you know, he's still got a bit of a brace. Like he's not leaving like he wants to leave. He's still kind of, oh, I don't really want to do this. When we go to the next one, you can see he's starting to think about leaving right there. He's still got one ear on my horse, but a lot of the tightness and the brace has gone out of his body, and he's actually kind of believing, yeah, I think I might leave. And after this one, he kind of went away and stood there for quite a bit, and he found that place. And you might notice in this picture, he's not looking at my horse. Okay, he's figured out, well, my horse is no fun. Okay, he's pointing towards this other horse, but you see he's just, I think he's got one foot cocked in this photo actually. He's like, oh, okay, I can stand out here. And this is the same horse that, you know, 5-10 minutes before was, like I said, was dropped down and I want to go over there, and there's all these horses in here, and I'm going to have my way with every single one of them. And you can see how much he's changed his mind right here. If we go to the next picture, I think then he came back towards me, but you see how far away he is, and you see the expression on his face. He's kind of like, and I think I've started to wave the flag a little bit, and he's kind of like, oh, I'm not too sure I want to get much closer. And then right here, you can see how far away he is from me in this next picture. You can see how far away he is when he starts to actually turn away. Before, like in the first picture, when I was waving the flag at him, he just kept coming towards it. He didn't believe me and didn't realize that there was a place he could find that had some peace. So right here in this next picture, I'm driving him away, and see he's almost gone a bit of an angle to me, or he's heading further away from me. And then if you see this next one, he's kind of circled around me, and I think after this one he went over towards that other horse in the background. She chased him away, and then he kind of came back over towards me, and you see in this next picture he kind of found a spot to rest a little bit away from me. You know, you can see right now he's looking at me, but he's not really attempting to walk towards me. I think after a minute right there he did again, and once again I had to chase him off. And you can see right here, he's not very close in this one. And if you look in the next one, it doesn't take him very long. Well, not this next one, but right here he's thinking about leaving. But if we go to the next one, right here is like, ooh, I'm getting out of here. And then in the next one, he's turned and off he goes. So he turned away, and then he started to circle quite a bit around me, away from me. And then you see in this next one, he finally found a spot to rest facing away from me. And that's where I had the lady riding him. I said, rub on him right there. That's a good place for him to be. And he sat there for quite a while and was relaxed right there. If it's in this next picture, I think he looked at me a few times, but managed to control himself. And that's really what I'm on about here, is these horses controlling themselves. Then she turned loose and let him walk around. If you look in this picture right here, he's got one ear on me and one ear on the rider, and the rider's not doing anything to him to keep that ear on him, but he's kind of thinking about her, and he's kind of thinking about me too. And I think after that one, like you see in this photo, he went away again and found a place to come to a rest, and that's where she rubbed on him again. I think, and then she rubbed on him. You see in this next photo, she's still rubbing on him. He's in a different position here, so he must have walked around a bit. Then he decided, okay, that horse is not the answer. I'm going to try this one over here. And so he went over and he tried that horse. And if you see right here, when this girl waves the flag at him, he's got a bit more energy into thinking about leaving. Right here he's kind of half thinking about leaving, and right here he kind of half thought about telling her, hey, don't you tell me what to do. I think I'm going to come in there and have my way with this horse. If you see in this next one, see his head's turned, but look at his right front foot. Okay, think about the earlier on pictures when I first was chasing him away. His head would move, but his feet wouldn't. And right here you can see his head's turned, but his feet are thinking of going too. And then right here in these next two photos, he's out of here. Okay, and so then what he did was he got to where he kind of did that with, I don't know if he did with, so there was, I have 6 horses in each, I divide my clinics into 2 sessions, a morning and afternoon group, and I have 6 horses in each. And I think he went to all 5 of the other horses, but the other people didn't have to drive him off very much because I kind of established that in the beginning. So he went away from that horse, and then if you see in this photo here, he went over and found a spot that wasn't facing near any of the other horses, and he just stood there and was quite relaxed, quite happy to just hang out there. And then I think in the end, she actually got to where she could walk. I just had to ask him to walk, and he walked around, and he didn't go to any of the horses. He went, okay, I know where the path is, the path of least resistance, and the path of least resistance is away from those horses. And he could kind of walk through them and around them and here and there. And I think she may have even trotted and cantered, but once we got all this sorted, she didn't have to control him in the arena with the other horses. He could stand still where she wanted to stand still. She could ask him to walk, and he didn't walk. He didn't walk any closer to him. She asked him to trot. He didn't trot close to him. He wasn't afraid of them. Like, he wasn't running away from them. He just realized what their personal boundary was. And you can see in this photo here, at some point in time, she came to a stop somewhere else, and he was quite happy to just stand there and have a rest. So you can see right there that the whole interaction we had with that stallion and those group of mares on the ground, they weren't all mares, but you know, the interaction we had between the two was just the same as what you'd see in a herd of horses. And you see in the end, he was quite happy to stand there. Just like like I said, if you've seen this in a group of mares and a stallion, that stallion will just hang out over there by those other mares and won't be bothered by them in the slightest. Hang out away from those mares and won't go anywhere near them in the slightest. But he's not over there trembling, and he's not over there worried, and he's not over there wishing he could. He's like, oh, I'm glad I'm not over there, because that's not a whole lot of fun. So, and I'm not suggesting anybody tries this at home. If you're not an experienced horseman, I wouldn't suggest trying it. What I'm trying to get you guys to do here is understand the principles of how stuff like that works. And there was 2 principles involved in that. You're going to make the wrong thing hard and the right thing easy. And you're going to let them find that spot, that place where they get left alone. And, how do you make the wrong thing hard and the right thing easy? You have to actually allow those horses to make a mistake. And hanging on to that stallion and not letting him go over there, I guarantee you, 6 months from now she'll be at a horse show or something, and she's still got to hang on to him and prevent him from going over there. And like I say, you don't control the horse controls the horse. All the training that you do with these horses is teaching those horses how to control themselves. So anyway, hope that helps. We'll see you guys next time.